For those who don't like astrology, be like just bear with me for a bit because I know most people think astrology is pseudoscience, but just bear with me one through because I am what you call a Gemini, and then like you, I know a lot of people don't believe a lot of things astrology. They think astrology is bullshit, especially if you're a man. Most men think astrology is bullshit. I do think there are some things in it that I feel like it's useful. Like some people just does not say. I think there are things in it that are useful, and I think it does things that does tell you about it. But that's neither here nor there. I am a Gemini, and the one thing about Geminis is we love hard. If you ever met a Gemini, we love hard, and we'll tell. It's like I know me specifically. I if I like you, you will know. You like I'm not one of them dudes that's just like, oh, I don't know if he likes me or not. Like I will let you. I will let you know, and I don't have that much of a poker face to let you know that I like you or not, or I fuck with you or not. All right, it's obvious. It's obvious to me. It's me specifically is obvious. And if I love you, I love you hard. Like friends out of platonically or romantically, I fucking love hard. And I think sometimes that is a curse sometimes because I myself have to tell myself to back off, especially when I'm pursuing a woman, to back off and chill sometimes because sometimes you do too much to where it may be fucking up your chances of getting with that person. It's happened to me on more than one occasions, and yet my hard headed ass still hasn't learned that lesson. And it's usually and it's I to me I never get it because it's like these I always thought that these women like they always can't tell if a man love them or not or can man don't appreciate them or not. And I always thinking, well, I show them my appreciation, but then again, when I sit back and recollect, especially one woman, I was just like I was young too, and but I take accountability. Like I was doing too much, where I could have just played it cool. I was doing too much to where it kind of like turned her off. And yes, this is why I tell them, yes, you can be a nice guy or you can do too much for you to just turn a woman off. I think I did it with some other girl I was trying to pursue, even though she lives in another state. And I think that kind of fucked that chances up too. In which I'm like, this is why I'm saying I would never learn. But at this time, it's just like, I'm also kind of like done looking for love. Like, I don't need, like, I know most women you complain about men stalking you, and that's a serious problem. Or like people just like doing crazy, stupid things just to get next to you, and that is a serious problem. I don't want those problems, but at the same time, I'll be looking at you. At least like you get something out of it. Me, on the other hand, I feel like I get nothing. I just don't get nothing. So it's just even when I'm like pursuing. Like, I want to know what you want. I remember, but she was a younger. I asked her like, "What do you want to do out of your life, or what do you see yourself for 5 years?" I hit her with that shit. She's just like, "Damn, nigga," and she was a young girl. She was just like, "Damn, nigga, I ain't even thinking all that." It's just like, I'm like, what the fuck is? But again, I took accountability on that. Maybe I just be pushing too strong, or like I've been on last time. I've been on a date. I thought the date went fine. Now I'm be also be real. Did I feel a spark in that date? No, but I also felt like it went fine enough. To it was just like if we would have gone to a second date, it was like yeah, because he was talking about cuddle dates and all that other stuff. I was like, yeah, maybe we could just get into an element where she's just comfortable with me. That girl ghosted me, and again, I take accountability of that because I feel like as a man, I need to take accountability for it. But it's just one of those things where I look at it, it's just like maybe I'll do it to it. But I've always been honest about my reactions. And also sometimes I feel like the girls that I do want to date, they live in Florida. I'm in Maryland, but the girls I really want to pursue, like one lives in Florida, one lives in she used to live in L.A., but now she lives in San Francisco, and like that's a whole life change, and like a whole culture, a whole life change, and actually a couple of them might be in Florida. To tell you the truth, it was just like, but that's a whole scenery and a whole life change that you can't just get up and go like that, especially when you develop something here. But the job I have is like if they need me in Florida, I guess I could go to Florida. But it's not a work from home job either. But it's just one of those I just gotta move, get acquainted in Florida because that's what I said. Because I said I was could do that. But anyway, that's just me. I feel like when it comes to love, done looking for love and all that. So also part two to this rant, I saw something on Facebook and I was like, oh, I was reading halfway through it and I was like, oh, this is something I can, talk about too. So this right here, I said before we get to the big screen, save it. I was like, saving this one, think piece, and that's Shiny Wolf right there on the podcast. But yeah, we'll just start right here. So this person, Brick City Buddha, he had this whole, and this is a long dissertation. So bear with me. Um, Most women have never been taught how to man feel both sexually and non-sexually desired long term. Most women will go their whole life being pursued by small armies of men, giving maximum effort to show how much they desire her. But when it's time to reciprocate this energy to their Mr. Right, they have no clue to do so. Now, there's other pages of this, but for right now, the dude is just spitting. Now, again, this is not a black woman bashing channel. I want to be here, and I don't even think he's bashing black women. I think this is just an observation. So I'm not treating this as a black woman, like black women get your shit together. But I do agree with this, and I do see this that a lot of y'all, even when y'all have good men, or even when y'all have someone that does everything you want, y'all don't know how to treat them. I know many great men who accepted months and even years without sex from their women, without stepping out or cheating in any way. Men who are handling their responsibilities are riddled with silent resentment and frustration from the minimal attempts made by their women to make them feel desired. Men who know if they don't initiate or flat out ask for sex, often it won't often happen. It won't happen at all. Excuse me, I read. Now, this reminds me of those videos where it was just like those women's like, I divorced good men. And it's just like, what did they do? And it's just like, you're not happy. The same thing with TMR, was you was just not happy. And you're wondering if the guy did anything wrong. And they all say, no, he did everything right. He did everything right. He treated me right. There was no domestic violence, abuse. And it's just that she was just wasn't happy. She just wasn't done right. Now, I've always it's like side eyed those women because it's just like most women can't even find black women. 1 in 4 black women will get married, right? So imagine you finding the man of your dreams or the man that does everything for you and he treats you right and he doesn't abuse you at all. You're letting him go for what? Because you're not happy. That is, and I tell I always say women are selfish. Like this, not just black women, all women. I think all women are selfish in nature, especially if they don't know how to, treat a man. And this right here proves it, and those videos proves it because it's just like, oh, you don't have to. I was like, but he was giving you everything. What is it that you don't want it? But some women are just never satisfied. I want to talk about Tracy Ellis Ross too, but that might be a different one. But because that's a different topic. That's more or less about toxic masculinity, and I feel like I would talk about that sooner. But this one, I just think that just women don't know what they want and they don't know they're happy, and it's just like the whole husband store story and some shit like that. If and my problem with this is always if I'm not the problem, and if I'm doing everything right, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering the same way like with someone that does give you problems? Like, why am I getting treated like someone that do give you problems? Because I'm like a lot of women, they say they're not happy in their relationships, and if I'm doing everything right, because one thing is like men, if a woman asks for divorce, the men gonna be like, "What did I do?" And if you're like, "Well, you didn't do nothing. It's just me," but it's just like, if I'm not the problem, why am I getting punished? At least that's how I look at it because it's like a divorce. Just be real, divorce is kind of a punishment. But it's just like if I didn't do nothing to instill a divorce, why would you punish? But it's just that some women are selfish. I'm not here to blame women for this either. I actually empathize with the test of having to go from life being hunted to all of a sudden being asked how to hunt your man, especially if you when you already have him. Many women I speak to are definitely afraid of initiating because they never had to work their muscle or think they will come off looking dumb or being rejected if their attempt isn't good enough. And the funny thing is, it's just like some of these women know if 9 out of 10 it like they can bag about 9 out of 10 dudes. I even asked my homegirl and I said, "You in a room with 10 men? How many of them do you feel like you can bag?" And she said, "All 10." I said, "And that's fine that you say that, and it's probably true because she is a gorgeous woman." And I said, because she was like, we had this whole thing of who had it easier in dating men and women. I said, even the most handsomest man is probably getting like four. Because I've seen women, especially on Pop the Balloon, where like, oh, he's handsome, but and then they nitpick. It's like imagine having the option of so many people just like wanting to be with you that you can just turn them down for the simplest reasons. Oh, your shoes are untied. Oh, you wore yellow pants, or oh, I don't like that shirt. And like men are not that. Men are we're not that. We're not that. I know you've seen it a couple times, but no. Even if you're not physically attractive, we're not gonna like. We still won't turn you down. We're just like, you know what? She might not be cute, but you know what? She does stuff for me, so it's just like I might, fuck with it. That's us. It's just like we. I'm not gonna say. I always say we take what we can get, but that's just it. Women are also juggling the worlds of emotions and giving indoctrinate amounts of energy to nurturing their families, as well as producing business while in a sense of also being in a leadership position domestically. And many women need work to know how to delegate and not put too much on their plate because they learn to function in an overwhelming stupor more than likely men than their men fully realize. Now, he's right. And the reason why he's right, if you ever seen those videos of like men's like boxes and women's are like wires, the whole boxes of wires things, man, we kind of like compartmentalize shit, but with women, everything connects to everything. So, like, they're like, even when you tell them to relax, it bothers them because it's just like, why are you telling me to relax? This thing goes to this thing goes to this thing. And it's just like if men was just like if we see something, it's just like, oh, that's broken. It probably needs to be fixed. And you go, do you list that on a level of importance? And if it's high, you get it done. But if it's low, you be like, I'll fix it later. It ain't that much of a problem. That's men. Like that's how we look at things. We kind of sort of compartmentalize it. Is it a big deal or not? If it's not a big deal, we're just about to go on with our life. If it is a big deal, I gotta I gotta get this thing nipped in the butt so it won't be a big thing no more. This is why men have to set the test of teaching our women how to want us, how we want to be wanted, and not take it personally because she's more likely never got that lesson. we have to be real with them about the fact that we need to be desired to let them know the specific of what looks like being open to negotiate what she actually has the capacity for. That's one of those things. Is just like alcoholism and gambling. You got to realize it's a problem first. If a woman doesn't realize it's a problem first, she's not going to really change. Yeah, even in some breakups, some women feel like they're not the reason, even if they're the sole reason. I've seen videos where a woman is just like cheating on her, and then she has a she has a, and I put this in quotation marks, a justifiable reason why, like she cheated on it or some shit like, because she wasn't there, or he was just close to me and something like that. He was just saying all the right things. You don't ever say to me no more. In the back of your head, you just like, I work 60. You're like, I work 40 to 60 hour weeks. I'm tired. Yeah. And then like they want you, especially now, like if both genders work, they want you still want you to do stuff around the house. Like you kind of like tired. They're kind of tired, and like shit still got to get done. So that's another thing. But yeah, women. I don't think a lot of women know what their man wants or what they. Um, most of them don't even ask. I don't know. Most of them don't even ask. It's just like, but as men, we sometimes we like get whatever. Like if get whatever. I guess whatever. Especially when it turns to eat, because we don't have a problem eating. We just want to go eat. But it's like if you ask a woman to pick a restaurant, she's like, shit, just I don't know. I don't know. Like if I have a hunger for chicken, I go to Popeyes. If I have a hunger for a burger, I go to McDonald's. If I have a hunger for soup, I go to a ramen shop. They have great soup there. Like men, we know where we want to eat. If I want steak, I go to Outback Steakhouse or for a child, depending on how expensive you want to go there. But if I know this place got the best steak, oh, I'm going to eat there. A huge part of male leadership is also an ability to help make and remove what we can from her plate while not burning ourselves out. That doesn't always look like just paying all the bills. It looks like being assertive and keeping her honest in her own self care, which di- directly affects her ability to be sensual, attentive, and desirous. We as men, we have to remind our women to rest and not to take on too much. Work out, eat right, be still, and help them with their taking center. My little sister, she's pregnant, right? And her ass want to get up and walk around and like do stuff. And sometimes I'd be like, "Go sit your ass down." And like women, I know most women they do that. It's just like, well, this gotta get done. This gotta do. Go sit your ass down. Go sit down. You're gonna stress yourself out. And that's I feel like that's just men. Like if any men has been here, it's just go sit down because you're gonna stress yourself out. Relax. Go get yourself an hour break. Like I've done that before. It's just like I've done it to my mom's because my mom, you ever heard that speech? Y'all ever do work around the house and all that other stuff? And then when I go, and this is the only time we can like really, I don't want to say talk back to your mom, but you let her know that you got it. You go, mom, go sit down. You say, but I got to go sit down. You're obviously tired. Go upstairs and rest. All right, because you screaming at the top of your lungs and you're obviously tired. You obviously angry. Go sit down and rest. I'll handle it. You show it, baby. Yeah, it was just like things like that. Most people is just like even as with your husband, you see your woman doing a lot. Sometimes you got to say, "Hey, baby, go sit down." Or it's like they playing with the kids and they all stressed out. I got the kids because like sometimes, especially the woman, they is a stay at home woman. It's like you could tell they're a mess. They don't know what they look like. Their hair is a mess and all that other stuff. And then like if you take, let's just say if you take and she has a newborn baby and that newborn baby stressing her out, and you just take her hands off for 5 minutes, it'd be like the most satisfying 5 minutes of that woman's life because like oh she gonna take it easy. Hell, like even when my sister had her first daughter and like She wanted to go somewhere by herself, and I was like, "Go somewhere and have a blast. I'll watch. I'll watch my niece for you." This is when I was living with my sisters. It's just like I got her. Just chill for a second, and like I. And anytime she called, I said, "Don't call." I said, "Go have fun." It's just like take the load off because you can tell. I can see it stressing you out. Go out and have a blast. Things like that, try to help people out. Fellas, if you don't feel desired, you have to be brave enough to say it. I believe it. Yes, I agree. Tactful enough not just to accuse, but introduce a conversation in a way that doesn't make you feel even worse, not giving what you need and what you want, in order to focus on solutions that work for both of y'all, and to not take it personally that you may need to teach her how to want you. In other words, don't go up to her all brash. Like there's a way to like finesse it. Like you just got to be like, baby, like I feel like the spark isn't in there. Let's just do something to like catch the spark back and something like that. Because I just feel like we're not being eye to eye or some shit like that. Like the way you get your point across, but a point where it's just like you want to do something about it, not like end it, but you want to do something about it because I love you and you love me. That's things like that. Things like that feel like it would go a long way. Ways women can make men feel desire, initiate, even if it doesn't lead to sex. The moment speak up on them, kiss them, fondle them, caress them, rub his head. We love that shit. Men love that shit. Compliment. Let him know how good he looks, smell, and what he's doing. Consider, give him a gift. Take him on a date, send him texts as if you're courting him, plan something for him, not just because it's BA. Investigate. Ask him what makes him feel wanted by you and implement, even if you have to schedule it. See, now, I've always said learn when to be a head coach and when to be a cheerleader. And like the cheerleader is if he's doing good, just pray. I don't want to say praise him, but like give him good compliments. Give him the compliments. I see you doing a great job. I love you. You my king and all that other stuff. You is like compliment him. Make him feel like what he's doing is worth it. That's the cheerleader part. The head coach is like if he's let's say he's just fucking up or he's struggling, you take him to the side and you don't have to be hard on him. You can still like, baby, it's like I see you've been kind of slouching lately and all that other stuff. What we got? I said, come talk to me. What's on your mind? What we gotta do to get you back on track? Because we need you out here. This is like your big daddy out here, some shit like that. No, what you need out here. It's like learn when to be a cheerleader and a head coach. Because if the star of your team is not good, then the whole team is not going to be good sometimes. And I guarantee you, like and if you're with the right man, he will reciprocate it because you are just as important as anyone. Most women have never been taught how to make a man be. Oh, let be much time reciprocate. Oh yeah, okay. So I went back. Yeah. So that is that is it. That is it. Just like that's okay. That's my first time reading that. I think that brother was speaking facts, but it's mostly like a lot of things where I say learn how to be a cheerleader and when to be a head coach. Like I said before, because that's usually the advice I give women. Is like, do you want to give anything? It's to learn when to be a cheerleader, when to be a head coach. Now, the man is the star player. If your man is the star player, you gotta understand how he maneuvers, how he likes this things, how he likes this and that. And I feel like when you do that, you get reciprocated many a times, especially if he's being successful. Because a lot of dudes they garner their success off of the women that they're with, and this is why I always say that we need each other. Like we don't, especially black people, we need each other. There's times where I know I feel like we be doing too much, but we need y'all black women, and I know black women like y'all need us too. So that's just my thoughts on this. But yeah, do I think no no this is the last thing. Now, do I think I could still find love? I'm pretty sure because I'm optimistic about it. Because if the booty warrior can find a wife, if the dude the hide the kids, hide the wife goes from being very gay to being very straight and now Muslim, and now I think he's still with the woman that he's with. I'm pretty sure I can find a woman, but it's just I'm not just gonna be pursuing. But if it's there, I'll see about it. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Till then, my name is Skin of Flying.